This Reddit thread is over a year old, but I still want to do it because it is important to understand that if your significant other treats you like this, he does not like you. He just doesn't. There's no need to stay with somebody that does this. In this one, the boyfriend kept telling her that she smelled bad. Let's talk about it. She says, I have been with my boyfriend for over a year and everything has been great except for one thing. Every single day, at least once, he tells me that I stink and smell of body odor. When we met, I showered every day, applied regular deodorant in the morning, brushed my teeth 3 times a day. Now I'm so paranoid about smelling bad that I shower at least twice a day. I apply new industrial strength deodorant every few hours. I have a reminder on my phone, perfume, and I brush my teeth anytime I eat or drink something that isn't water. I feel like I'm going crazy. I didn't think I smelled bad in the beginning, and I don't think I smell bad now. But I obviously smell bad to him, right? I'm the weirdo that keeps sneakily smelling my own armpit. I have been to the doctor and he said there is nothing medically wrong. It has honestly gotten to the point where I literally shove my armpit in my friends' and family's faces, asking if I smell bad. They all said I don't smell like body odor at all. One friend even said I smelled too clean, like a Lush store. I am getting so paranoid. He won't even cuddle or anything when he says I smell. I really don't know what more I can do. She said, update. So, unexpected edit. I waited for him to make a comment this morning so I could talk to him. It was less than an hour after waking up that he said, God, you stink. I had already showered and put on deodorant. I snapped and asked, what exactly was he smelling? Because at this point, I'm one of the cleanest people on the planet. And if I still smell bad to him, then we should just break up. He got all panicked and upset. I eventually got out of him. This is what his father always said to his mother. Apparently, his father told him that this is or was a surefire way technique to have a woman never leave you because she will feel too low to cheat, will love only you, and will always be clean. Needless to say, his father is wrong. He's packing his things and moving out of my house today. The whole technique, we need to discuss the whole technique of negging someone to the point where they are intentionally trying to bring down a woman's self esteem and self confidence. Why a person wants to bring them down so low that they stay with them out of default instead of being loving, supporting, a wonderful partner. No, they don't want to do that technique of just being a decent human. They want to be a terrible human and dehumanize you to the point where you just are so beat down that you don't go anywhere. What kind of, but this was his norm, this was his normal. And even if, and I do acknowledge that some Reddits could be fake, even if this is fake, the negging technique is a thing that does happen. So women need to understand when you hear this, when you see this, when somebody is being intentionally mean and you're supposedly in a relationship or even just meeting for the first time, this is not something that is sustainable and you need to leave. Now, for some of the comments. Hey, son, you know the woman who gave you life and brought you into this world and probably loves you more than you can ever comprehend? Here's how I dehumanize her so she sticks around. You should try it with your girlfriends. And this person says, trust me, son, with my patented technique of emotional manipulation and gaslighting, you'll have to beat all the women off with a stick. This next person says, oh, did I say you'll have to beat all the women off with a stick? I meant you'll have to beat off to make believe women with your hand. My mistake. Because right now, ladies, we are in a position to just take back our boundaries, our resources, our energy, decrease our stress level, increase our self-care, self-esteem, self-confidence, all of that. Don't let these men pull you down. Just don't. Walk away. This person says, son proceeds to land a girlfriend who lets him live rent free. This person says more like a swing and a miss at a girlfriend who lets him live rent free. I mean, she did kick him to the curb. Can't really say he succeeded here. This person says he succeeded in getting what he wanted and then he screwed it up afterwards instead of maintaining it. This person says his error was breaking the rules his father laid out. I mean, he also could have just been a better human than his dad was, but then that would have, he would have had to recognize that his dad was a piece of poop and just do better. This person, I always wonder about men who take relationship advice like this from their father. How do they stand seeing their own mother dehumanized and degraded for years by their very own father? This person says because they literally don't understand its dehumanization and degradation. It's just home life to them, especially since the mother had likely been gaslit to the point that she would downplay it as emotional manipulation if it was ever brought up. Now, that is the reason why staying in a relationship that is toxic, even if it is a boy child, is terrible because he embodies this as a normal behavior as well. So you don't want your girl children to see that because you don't want them to get a partner that's going to treat them that way. But then you also don't want to stay and let your boy child see that because you don't want him to grow up and be like the person that is dehumanizing and degrading women. So with that, I'm going to end this one. You guys let me know what you think about this. Have you been a victim of negging? Have you experienced that? Jump in the comments, let me know. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. So this was posted in the Am I the A-hole thread by a man, and the answer is yes. Yes, he's the a-hole. He says, am I the a-hole for taking advantage of my girlfriend? He says, I feel like I'm about to get flamed, so throw it away. He says, my girlfriend and I have been together for 3 years. Since we started dating, we have a tradition of paying for each other for dinner for our birthdays. We don't have a limit on how much that meal will cost. My girlfriend doesn't drink. She at most has a mocktail or a sparkling water. I usually pay $100 to $150 for both of us for her birthday dinner. My birthday was 2 days ago, and we went out. I drink, which my girlfriend doesn't like, and she thinks it's a waste of money. But it's my birthday, and she agreed to pay for everything. I had 8 drinks and a steak and dessert at a steakhouse, which cost about $200. And with her $70 meal, it came to $310 with tips. She didn't say anything at the time, but last night blew up at me for drinking so much money and expecting me to cover it. Maybe he's saying expecting her to cover it, but from her side. He says, I defended myself because it was technically unlimited and no, I wasn't drunk. And I have a pretty high tolerance, so it's not fair. I can't enjoy myself. She is pretty frugal, so she thinks it's a crazy amount, and I was an a-hole for leaving her with this high of a bill. We agreed we would pay for each other's meals and drinks, and it's not my fault. She normally doesn't get more than one drink and is non-alcoholic, so it's cheaper. But she has been ignoring me and refusing to talk it out. If she's that upset, I'll reimburse her for my portion, but then that's the end of our tradition. Do these people even like their girlfriends? Folks are up in arms about women talking about doing the 4B. No dating, no marrying, no sexual relations, no babies. But then these people, these people don't even act like they like their partners. And to see, I'm struggling to see the point if you're with somebody and you know that you're taking advantage. You know that your girl is frugal and you do this. Like, what are they expecting? Are they expecting someone to stay after this? I don't get the end game, but you guys can weigh in. I'm going to do some of the comments, but yes, total a-hole. Okay, so Quiet Experience says, you're the a-hole. While your girlfriend agreed to pay for everything, your tradition is to pay for each other's dinner, not drinks. Assuming it was also $70 for your meal, then the rest went to drinks, which is a large chunk of the bill. A few drinks were fine, but 8? That was too much, and you knew that based on your previous dinners. You were trying to test the waters and see if you could take advantage of your girlfriend, but it didn't work and it blew up in your face. Give her some space, then reimburse her and apologize. However, don't be surprised if she breaks up with you. And somebody tagged me on here. I'm BurbNBougie on Reddit if you're looking for me. So don't be surprised if she breaks up with him and then he is just blindsided. Just blindsided, like, she totally broke up with me because I had a few drinks. That's what he would tell his partners. This person says, you're the a-hole, but not for taking advantage of the situation. A deal is a deal. If this was a contract, you'd have caveats for anything off base. I assume you didn't, so you're not bound to honor what I would call an assumed agreement of fairness. That's why you're the a-hole. Instead of dealing with the real issue here, apparently you have a very different definitions of what is acceptable of drinking. You push the envelope, not only by making her come along for your seriously, eight drinks, but making her pay for it. Passive aggressive AF. You did this spoiling for a fight and you got one. You're mad about being reined in on your drinking, so you push back like this. I don't know. I mean, yeah, the whole drinking thing could be a problem, but it literally could be the issue of why would he push this to make her pay so much? He knew how much these drinks would cost. This person says, yeah, dude has a tolerance where 8 drinks in one sitting isn't a big deal to him, but I guarantee the girlfriend is just watching this guy get hammered day in and day out at the expense of the relationship. Yeah, because we don't know how old this man is or what. And if 8 is not doing anything, that could really be saying something about his body and where it's going down the line. This person says 8 drinks isn't a lot across a whole night of drinking, but 8 drinks at one dinner, that's insane by most people's standards, unless the dinner was like 5 hours long. It's excessive by any measure. 8 drinks across like a week is a lot for me, but I have a really low tolerance. This person says 8 drinks across a whole night sounds like a lot to me, but then again, I don't drink. Neither do I. Like one drink is enough. And that's one drink like once every month or once every quarter. And she responded with, I mean, I have a decent tolerance because I'm tall and thick, so I can do 1.5 to 2 drinks an hour. So if I go out for like 6 hours, 8 wouldn't be insane. See, this is where, people are just kind of getting into the details. But the details of this is, yes, he's the a-hole. I want to know what y'all think though. Jump in the comments, let me know. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. I will tell you guys, I do love Reddit for the conversations that it can start. This person in the 2X chromosome says, why do some men believe in the biological hardwired BS so much? She says, I always get disturbed and skeptical of men, especially the religious ones, who keep spilling BS like men are more logical and emotionally stable. Men need sex to live. Men express emotions through anger and actions, etc. They even use this BS as an excuse to not go to therapy. I am very aware of bad therapists, but I'm baffled at how they prefer to be, not just self sabotaging, but also a danger to others. Us humans are the most versatile animals, and yet these men love to hang on to the caveman mindset, which ironically is one of the many reasons why men are still being treated like along with women for generations. They have painted themselves into these boxes where emotion is at the realm of the woman and logic is at the realm of the man, when both of these can exist and do exist in both of us. But it doesn't allow them to have very much leeway as far as what is manly and masculine. They have painted themselves as just the opposite of us, so that when women have things like logic, assertiveness, all of these things, when we can take care of ourselves, when we're not hardwired to take care of them. They don't know how to handle things because they are just painting themselves as the opposite of us. And it's not biological because many of these things we have within us. And a lot of these things that they act like are innate are actually learned behaviors and can be learned with repetition. Okay, so I wanted to start this discussion. Let's do some of the comments because a lot of these comments are very good. This person says it's got 2 components, I think. First, this is what they have been telling themselves for pretty much all of human history to rationalize the subjugation of women. Bigots don't come out and say, I want to subjugate this group of people because I want my life to be easier without working for it. Bigots don't think that they're bad people. They say women are naturally inclined to want to be home with their babies. That's why we're not promoting Sarah. She had a baby last year. Any day now, she'll be out of here because doing engineering all day is just not what a woman with a beautiful baby at home wants. It's for her own good that we not add to the situation with more duties she doesn't really want. When she leaves, they will consider this proof of their weird idea rather than just another instance of an underpaid person doing what underpaid people do. Like I said, these comments are really good. She continues with, they say women are too emotional to hold public office, and that's why I won't vote for her. Then all the analysts will cite those results every time they talk about a woman candidate and question her electability so much harder than they question that of a male candidate, so that our governing bodies disproportionately platform old white dudes who know that anger isn't an emotion. She says, they say, but you're just so much better at putting the kids to bed, honey, rather than doing what every mom on earth has done since the beginning of time and figuring out a way to make it work and overcome the challenges. Men cling to this biological tendency BS because it allows them to subjugate women um, or benefit from the woman's subjugation and still consider themselves good people. This woman is spot on. Oh, she has more. Let's continue. She says the other component is a bit more nefarious and it seems to be a more recent development. Men are realizing that women don't need them and are freaking out. I'm in the US, so the decade I think of when it comes to women's legal rights increasing was the 70s. That was when women gained the right to get credit on their own, when Roe v. Wade was decided, and I believe no fault divorce was just prior to it in the late 60s. Before that, women pretty much had to either live their lives with a man or accept some pretty significant state-sanctioned disenfranchisement. It was also way harder to get away from men than it is now. Sure, it's easy to say that 50 years ago isn't a long time, but on a generational scale, it's really not. Millennials have been the first generation to live our entire lives with at least theoretical legal equality for women in the US. We are still in the experimental stages of this thing, make no mistake. I'm not surprised at all that we're starting to see the freakouts now. We've got a bunch of people who were raised by parents whose baseline was that women needed to be married to men and benefited from this. And now people who have lived our whole lives with a higher degree of legal equality are saying, why do I need that? How does this improve my life again? What does that allegedly good man bring to the table? Come to think of it, what's so good about him? If the answer is a mediocre paycheck and a less than mediocre personality, that's not going to sell. When the state kneecapped the women for, by taking their rights to autonomy away, pretty much anyone but a complete degenerate could find a wife. That's not the case anymore. So now we've got a society full of men who were never taught to carry the mental load, never taught to pull their own weight as functional adults, thinking they're going to keep a good wife like their mom by doing the same kind of thing, kind of nothing their dad did, and finding out that today's women have no use for that. Of course, they reach for, but you biologically need me, is practically the death rattle of the patriarchy at this point. This woman's comment shut it down. I really don't even need to go further because she summed this up beautifully. They are struggling right now. They are clinging for anything. And you're seeing multiple women on multiple different platforms talk about it. That is the beauty of social media. And that is the reason why I am on Reddit, I'm on TikTok, I'm on Twitter, I'm on YouTube talking to women. And so many women across race, culture, country of origin are saying this same thing. And I love this for us. I'm going to leave this at this because this woman's comment was enough. She summed up. She said a whole word. She spoke a sermon. Y'all, let me know what you think. And if you made it this far and you haven't subscribed, go ahead and hit the follow button. Jump in. Let me know what you think about this. Like, comment, share.